Well, hello. Before I begin reacting to Jason Unruhe, I will confess that I was the one who made the troll channel of Keaten Mansfield. Chopping up and leaking Yankee Tanky's video on Keaten Mansfield. I did it because I felt like the truth had to be out there, and to be honest, I'm impulsive and I like to troll. It's like my gambling. So, my regret is that it hurt Yankee Tanky, that it hurt his reputation. But as far as Keaten being exposed and his reputation, fuck Keaten Mansfield is my stance on that. So, I'll go ahead and get to the reaction. Yeah, it says his videos are low quality. So are mine. Come on.
So the big drama in the leftist circles has been the video released by Yankee Tanky, or was leaked and then he decided to put it up.
Yes, I leaked it. I just confessed that. Let's get to how clueless you are.
Of his criticisms of Keaten Mansfield and...
Yeah, fuck Keaten. Team Yankee, woo!
To some extent, Caleb Maupin as well. To be perfectly honest, this doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh, it doesn't surprise you. You're going to tell us how smug you are.
When we really look at the situation, what did we think was going to happen with a thing within an organization run by narcissists? You are going to run into narcissist-type problems. One of the things that he mentions is that despite Keaten Manning's outright hatred of LGBT, he was dating a trans person.
Outright hatred. I mean, I'm not too familiar with Keaton's talking points. I mean, I think I unfollowed him after following him for like a day. I don't remember. I don't know much about Keaton's post history or if he hates trans people. Well, let's go.
But also doesn't agree with their existence and thinks that they shouldn't exist. So,
has he said they shouldn't actually exist, or that he has issues with other stuff involving the culture wars? Let's go on.
And that makes me a little bit concerned about the actual trans person themselves, why they would date someone who essentially wanted them to be destroyed. That raises some serious questions about that.
And for the record, it was not me at the hotel, and not me who was, quote, dating Keaten. I just want to, put that out there in case someone tried to make that a rumor. Kill it before it begins.
Person's self-esteem and why you would date someone like that, and the idea of such a relationship starts to become very sketchy when you start putting all that together. But is this really so unsurprising? I mean, is this really so surprising that a Christian-style, an American-style Christian is basically one gigantic pile of hypocrisy? Yeah, they say one thing and do another. I mean, the same thing can be said of most evangelicals almost all evangelicals in the United States. They say peace and love and Jesus and all that, and then turn around and do monstrously horrible and support horribly monstrous things to do onto their fellow man by using the state. So, to see that manifested here should not be surprising at all. But, again, still, it was a bit shocking for most people. And many of the criticisms that, even the criticisms made fall in line with that guy who left the CPI and basically said it was an anti-Marxist cult. Well, I'd believe it. I mean, that tends to be the way. When someone's telling you that the God...
Now, did Yankee Tanky say that or someone else? I mean, because that's not what Yankee Tanky said, and we don't know who you're referencing.
God is on their side, and you should do what they're telling you to do, because they say that's what God would want you to do.
Well, I mean, that's something that Keaten does personally. I don't think Caleb does that. I don't think anyone else does that. And I haven't dealt with Keaten, so I don't know if he actually uses the phrase, God wants you to do this, or God wants you to do that when giving an order within the John Brown volunteers. I mean, I'm getting the feeling that you didn't even really watch Yankee Tanky's video. You just saw like a couple. You saw like one or two videos on my troll channel. Said that's good. I'm running with it. It was you probably only saw the first upload, to be honest. You saw that first video on the troll channel, and that's your entire content. So a lot of context was left out. I mean, I have 3 videos on that troll channel that kind of gives you the main points of his flaws, But the full video has the entire context.
When you're not an actual church, even when it is a church, it's kind of sketchy. But when you're a political organization, you're starting to sound a lot like a cult. And seems very much so, very... in a way, Scientology-ish.
Like I said, you're kind of like giving how Keaten may or may not have behaved, and you're putting that entirely on CPI. I mean, I've never heard the words come from Caleb Maupin's mouth. God wants you to do this. God says that. God does this. No, I mean, he talks about theory and talks about how he himself is a Christian, but I mean, Jesus. You just like go at everyone with the most worst faith, batshit way possible. I mean, you're worse than Bausch. I mean, god damn, you're worse than the Smurfs. I mean, Christ. No wonder why you fell off and became irrelevant. I mean, you're like a parody of a bread tuber. And goddamn, man, if you're like, moving around and living off your internet money, can't you at least fucking like work out, lose some weight, drop the goddamn Coca-Cola? Goddamn, you fat fuck. I mean, I can't watch any more of his video. I mean, he just goes out to attack his enemies at the worst bad faith way imaginable. They're not like, oh, the revolutionary patriot movement. Those guys are not saying that all white people should be deported back to Europe, and they're not preaching that communism is creating 500 woke ethno-states in North America. And by the way, if you give here's my hot take, if you give full self-determination to indigenous people and black people in North America, full, complete, self-determination to them, those two sides are going to have a fucking race war eventually. So I would voluntarily go to Europe if that was the case. If that dystopian nightmare happened. But anyways, these fucking synthetic leftist fucking cucks. I'm done. I'm just fucking done. The fuck?